Ruins of Archaea. Starring Leslie, Lloyd, oh, Donald, Emily, Craig, who we can see now, which means he's done eating, and me, Brandon, the GM. Pray for us. And the music is Northern Steel by the band Antti Martikainen, which looks, I think, Norwegian or possibly Finnish. So, good for them. Yay. Last week, I actually wrote a pretty good summary of last week's, I thought.
Yep.
For a game that took so long, it was actually easy to summarize. You went to the castle, the Lasnina Zamku bathhouse, and found Ilyana, convinced her that you were on her side, sidestepped some people who saw you there and saw you talking to her and put two and two together. Fortunately, you were able to do invisibility and slip away before they caught up to you, which is good for you, but because it means you didn't get beaten and her kidnapped, which is a possibility. Was a possibility. Didn't happen. Yay! She tells you she hid the black book that she stole from Lady Miroslava back at the Sow's ear in a cushion. Zeral goes to the Sow's ear and cuts open the cushion and steals it. Nobody notices. You guys send invitation to the Copper Blades and Spyglass Society, telling them you'll meet them at the roof of the Botanical Tea Room at midnight to trade the book to them. Knowing that you're lying to one of them, but that's okay. You made a deal with Radu that Lady Miroslava would be there, so that was included in the note to the Spyglass Society. You headed to the Botanical Tea Room, went to the garden on the roof, which is also part of the tea room. As you watched the street, you saw the gathering forces of the Spyglass Society. Suddenly, cloaked figures attacked them and dragged away Lady Miroslava. You watched that happen, but chose not to intervene. Somebody on the roof lit a lantern. It was a dwarf with an intricately braided beard and hair, who spoke with a very educated manner, offered you tea and scones, asked you had the book. You said you did. You handed it over. He cast a couple spells, verifying it was real. Eldon, on the sly, cast a couple spells of his own to try to discern what the hell was in it. It was an ancient prophecy of the coming of the writhing dark, an apocalypse of corruption, evil, and decay. Fun. And the dwarf thanked you for your time, told you that the Copper Blades, as far as he knows, have no further interest in you or in Ilyana. And although he can't speak for the Spyglass Society, he suspects that they now have more important matters that they're paying attention to.
Like making sure Lady Miroslava doesn't get eaten.
Well, or finding her replacement is more likely.
Yeah.
Don't know. When you got back to Zeral's house in Newtown, Ilyana was gone. She left a note thanking you for your help, but saying she thought it was best if she found another place to live. So, there you go.
I'm not thinking that is the least wise decision we could all make right now.
Yeah, I think we're good with me staying here. I mean, I put a lot of work into this place. But I guess I could find some other wreck in this part of town that I could move everything to and fix up. Or we can leave town for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot out there that we could discover.
Well, it's late by the time you get back to Zeral's place.
Right.
So, unless you choose to go saddle up and leave town right now, everybody goes to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Just stay there here for the night.
Although technically Eldon doesn't need to. He's just operating on, like, half power while he does whatever else he does for the next 8 hours. Because he's an elf and they don't really need to sleep. So everybody go their separate ways.
It's when he does the things like, bathe and clean his clothes and,
Oh, it's
All the
ideal for
things.
housework.
Yeah, it really is.
Or for sorting scrolls. Or... Okay. Well, the next day, what you do? What's up?
I guess we were going to decide to meet up someplace and figure out what we're going to do.
Where would that place be?
Hey, the Haviland Bar sounds good. I like that place. It's kind of good.
Legend on Haviland Street.
Yeah, everybody knows where it is.
And it's a good place to eat.
And minor side effect of it being a Haviland bar is people who aren't Haviland really stand out. So it's hard to lose yourself in a crowd there unless you're Haviland. So there's that.
Well, if anybody knows any bars on the human side, we could go there too. I'm going to stand out wherever I go.
I was going to say, and then 3 of us would stand out instead of, say, 3 of us standing out.
Yeah, definitely. We might as well. I kind of like the Haviland, the Legend. It's a kind of good food.
They're good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The food's going to be good.
Yeah.
Prices will be fair. Always a good vibe in the room.
And we'll just agree to
Besides
meet with
that-
anything we need to take as quickly as possible in case we have to leave as quickly as possible.
Besides that, I'm going to stand out no matter where I go.
Probably. So will I.
Okay, so then 4 of us instead of 3 of us at a human bar. At least at a Haviland bar, 2 of us have a chance of blending in.
So next day you go to the Legend. I don't really care what order people show up in. You just filter in whenever you get up. However, when Avanti gets there, sees whoever's already there and goes over and sits down, the bartender, whose name I haven't picked yet. I should pick one. Anyway, bartender walks over to where you folks are sitting. Sorry, I'm looking something up. Oh. Neela. Wait, is that a dude's name? No, it's female. Neela, because doesn't it sound female? I don't know.
Yes.
Neela the bartender.
Nilo would be the male, would be the masculine.
Neela,
Or
bartender.
Nilo or Nilor would be the masculine. Nila, Nili would be the feminine.
I'll take your word for it. So Neela comes over to you people. You people. What's that supposed to mean? So Neela comes over. It says, you're Avanti, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. She hands you a sack, like a drawstring sack about the size of a good size orange.
Thank you.
A fella dropped this off for you earlier. Said, for the delivery.
Oh, all right.
When you hold it, it clearly chinks and
It's
jingles.
coins.
It's obviously a sack full of coins.
Can I tell by weight if we're talking silver or gold? Or
It is not gold. Gold weighs a fuck ton.
right,
Gold
right.
is stupidly heavy.
Yeah.
And it's either silver or copper. So
Okay.
if it was gold, you'd be going, ooh, like that.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Gold's crazy heavy. Anyway,
Thank you very much.
did you want anything?
Oh, yes, and I'll go ahead and order,
Great.
probably drinking a meal.
She takes orders from anybody who has not ordered yet, goes back over behind the bar, and then brings it. Eventually, everybody shows up. There you are. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, I go ahead and I look in the sack.
It's a sack of. Wondering, like, what would the reward for that be? We did tell you there'd be a reward. It's mixed silver and copper. How's that?
Okay, fair enough.
How about?
My plan is to divvy it up 5 ways.
All right, it needs to be divisible by 5. Good to know. 50 silver and 25 copper.
Okay.
So if you're gonna divvy it up, 5 copper and 10 silver for each person, added to whatever else you've already got. And I'm pretty much relying on you to keep track of this because I'm not going to.
Okay.
So say again what this distribution was.
5
10
copper,
silver, 5 copper.
10 silver, 5 copper.
Okay.
So you hang out, have lunch, no big deal. It's some kind of like mutton stew.
Okay.
It's good. It's got fennel and mint in it. Haviland food's weird. It's good, but it's weird.
Well, except to us.
Well,
We like it.
people who aren't Haviland.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like fennel, mint, and yogurt as like the base of the sauce for the stew. Anyway.
Yeah,
so-
no, that makes total sense. I remember I worked with a Persian fella.
There you go. So eat lunch. Nobody's kicking down your door, and nobody comes in to threaten you. Everything seems pretty cool.
How disappointing.
Here, let's spend the next hour. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry about that last week. I'm really sorry. It's like I'm still struggling to adjust to running fantasy again because it's been so long since I've done it. Observation. Preparing for a fantasy game takes 3 times as long as any other kind of game I've run in the past 10 years.
Wow.
Wow.
3 times as long. Because the easiest of all is superheroes. Because all you need to know is who and where. And everything else you just kind of wing. As long as it leads to the where, doesn't matter. As long as you got your who,
Too much.
and you know where they got to end up, everything else you can just wing. You don't have to prep at all. At least I don't have to prep at all. I can wing all that. Probably the second most difficult is science fiction. Because that's got some plot elements and stuff. But fantasy? Oh my god. Fantasy has like 1 million NPCs and 1 million plots that lead you to where you gotta go, and where you go is all like detailed. You gotta look at all the stuff. It's so. Is it me? Am I the one? Am I doing it to myself? Is anybody else
Yeah, kind of.
sympathize? Oh, okay, great. That's fine.
I kind of had a problem. I was running a left of center campaign when I was up in New Hampshire with two guys who were in the game, and one of the guys was a psychic, so he was not a problem. The other guy was a mad scientist and an inventor, and I had planned the entire campaign, the entire game, predicated on the fact that they would have to travel on the ground to get from point A to point B. So all my encounters were on the ground. The first thing the mad scientist did was invent a hovercraft and flew everywhere. I'm like, well, this is going to be a toughie.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like when Donald invented the hovercraft in my
Yeah, we just had to keep
Pirates
it
of
on
the
the
Mesozoic
ground.
game.
Yeah. The swamp avoider.
Yeah. But that wasn't a huge inconvenience for me because the stuff you ran into weren't things you could generally just fly over. I mean, if there was an encounter, it was something you either had to deal with, or you could avoid it. You saw it and you could just drive around it, which you could.
And
anyway.
it was like a flying bedstead. You know, you're not going to get more than about 4 or 5 feet off the ground on it.
It wasn't. You know,
Yeah,
slots
you're
literally
going
flying.
You're going over big rocks, but you're not avoiding T-Rex.
And our major villain had a vroom vroom and flying monkeys. So, you know.
This is true. They were harpies, actually. She had
Yeah.
harpies. Anyway, moving on. So there you are. You're all eating. You're all done eating. You're done eating. You got your whole afternoon ahead of you. So,
We got to decide what we're going to do. Are we going to stay here and take our chances? Or
Okay,
do we wanna-
I don't want this to take a half hour. So let's have each person throw out one idea, like a sentence or two, and we'll go to the next person. Does that sound reasonable?
Mhm.
Because I want to kind of tighten up my pace. Let's go backwards. Craig, Jacob, Lumberjack.
Yeah.
You don't have any pressing camp business to deal with. You've already dealt with all that, and you're not punching a clock or anything. Nobody. If you don't come back at all, I mean, they'll miss you, but it's not like they're depending on you to come back to do things.
Yeah.
Somebody else can go to town with a shipment of lumber. It's not like a responsibility that is solely yours.
Probably nice if they had the ox and the wagon back, though, right?
Oh, I guess there's that.
Yeah.
So you do need to go back at least once. Oops. But other than that, you're basically open. What do you want to do with your next day to 2 weeks?
All this easy city living is making me soft. I've only been here like 2 days. So I'm going to find some manual labor to do. Chop some wood or haul some something or, and in the process, maybe make a friend or two.
Cool. Most likely place for that is on the waterfront. There's not a huge amount of trade coming up and down the river. Nothing like it used to be in the heyday before the blight. But there's still work for people who are willing to just exert themselves all day.
Yep, and it doesn't even have to be thinking work, just haul this from here to there.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I'll first ask of the where we are now at Legend, if they need any wood chopped or anything like that, and then I'll move out from there.
Now that you mention it, we brew our own beer, and we
Nice.
they have 4 different kinds of beer that they serve that they brew themselves, ranging from an ale. Then the next is their red, and then their brown, and then their stout. The ale is your light drinking beer, and the stout is the instead of dinner beer. And
My stepdad always said there's a pork chop in every bottle of beer.
and the red and brown are somewhere in between.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to drink those all day long, but you could spend the evening drinking them.
If I didn't already know that, I now know that, and I'll make my goal a goal to test each of them.
Well, as it happens, we get a shipment once a week.
Okay.
Once a week of grains, and they get delivered here because this is where the business is. But the brewery is actually like a block away. So we need somebody to help load up the wagon to carry all this stuff to the brewery. If you feel like doing that, I mean, we'll pay you 3 copper and dinner.
I'm there. Should point me the right way.
Oh, great. Well, anytime. I mean, it's been there since yesterday, so just let us know.
I head out and start working.
You don't want to see what everybody else is up to? No? Right.
See you guys
Jacob
later.
finishes his lunch and goes over to Neela, and she takes him out back and then comes back with that. And he'll spend the next several hours loading up a wagon, taking it down, unloading it, coming back, loading it, taking it down a couple block away, unloading it. Spend like the next 2 hours doing that. Meanwhile, Emily, Ogilvy.
So I've got these mushrooms in my pocket.
Which look as fresh as the moment you saw them.
Of course, because they're mushrooms.
Mushrooms do
And-
go bad, to my surprise.
Yes.
So does
Yes, they do.
cheese. Isn't cheese already bad? Isn't that the whole point of cheese? But
You
no,
can-
cheese can go bad. It's weird.
You can scrape off the bad part though, and they're still good.
Oh, I got
inside.
some brie that I left in the fridge
Oh,
too long.
Okay,
And
brie
it
is a
turned
different story.
it was foul.
Yeah.
It didn't. It looked normal. It looked like normal brie. But if you
Oh,
smelled
no.
it, it's like
Oh, no.
God, just horrific, vomitous, awful. Anyway, but the mushrooms you got, they look perfectly fresh.
Excellent, excellent. So I am a little hesitant to put them on anybody else. So I want to try just a little teeny pinch of it myself.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Like right now at the table?
I mean, there's no time like the present.
Well, at the very least, you'll have people around you who can help, put a spoon in your throat so you don't choke on your tongue. All right, cool. You do that. Other than that, what do you want to be up to or have ideas for in the next day to 7 days?
Find some kids to play with.
Like children?
Like kids my age, like teenagers probably.
How old is Ogilvy?
17. But
she still thinks of herself as a kid? When I was 17, I thought I was all grown up.
No, she's definitely what do you call it? Arrested development.
Fair enough.
I have
Yeah,
a feeling
there's-
we're
there's-
not going to
there's-
stay a cohesive unit here.
There's plenty of young people around. Good sun time.
Oops, sorry, I thought I was on mute. My bad. My bad.
It's okay. I guess Craig is saying that Ogilvy's plan is nothing to sneeze at. All right, cool. Avanti, who's awash with coin. I guess you spend the next 10 minutes or so handing out coins to people. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
So what's up? Go ahead.
I do recall one of the merchants was talking about a shipment from the river that was missing or delayed or something. Am I remembering that correctly? Like very first session?
Oh, this wasn't on the river. This is actually on the North Road.
Oh, on the
There's
road.
a bridge that goes about a day's travel from here. There's a bridge that crosses a river that eventually hits the big river that Vodni Brana is on. But there's a bridge that crosses this river, and apparently there's a troll living under that bridge now that took his cart and his goods and his horse and he and his men at arms barely got away.
Okay.
Although he did get away with his money box. But that's all that and his personal possessions is all he managed to grab and run off with.
Okay.
But that was at this point a couple of days ago. So
Yeah.
well, that problem's been solved. You've got no idea.
Yeah, but I didn't run across a troll on my way into town.
No, you didn't. You came from the west. And this is going north.
Ah.
And I remember you were surprised that there was actually north-south roads, something like that. Because like all the roads you've been on since you left town were all pretty much east-west roads or
Yeah.
northeast to southwest roads. I mean, they generally went like this.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is definitely the North Road. They call it the
Right.
North Road. Probably any town that has a road like that calls it the North Road. Anyway, so there's that. Were you thinking of maybe going there?
I was thinking of maybe seeing what was going up with that troll if people were interested.
This is a guild-based town, as will most of them be, of any size. So there's probably some kind of merchant guild or stevedores guild, people who load wagons, that might know more about that if you're interested.
I asked Jacob, he's loading a wagon.
You would ask Jacob, but he's out loading a wagon. So
It's pretty much
cool.
a steamroller field. He wouldn't know that. So
no, he wouldn't.
So that's an idea that I put out to people for.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
it would be foolish for one person to approach a troll.
Pull out a
However,
map.
for 5 to trap it. So, and it may not even be a troll. It
What's
might-
What's north of here, Brandon?
woods.
That's it. on
But
the
if you
map.
go far enough, it's like
the road's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, 3 days away. There's along the North Road, which the North Road like veers away from the river. Like the river's pretty much north-south. The North Road actually goes gently northwest. It's mostly north, but a little bit northwest. There's a town called Crystal Lake, which is on a big lake called Crystal Lake. It's a mining town. That's really all you know. Oh,
Let me guess. They mine crystal.
no, they don't.
Bauxite.
Steel and silver, or iron and silver. So, actually, I was going to say people who have knowledge about either criminal justice, like the legal system, or the criminal underworld. I'm thinking Zarel's fairly new to town, but she probably would have picked up on this by now. Anybody else?
I
Okay.
don't think so.
Well, when it comes up, Crystal Lake is where Vodni Brana sends people who are criminals who've been caught and who have done something bad enough to not be released with a fine, but not bad enough to do something permanent to them. It's sort of like you're bad, but not that bad, so we're going to send you to Crystal Lake to work.
Yeah, they're sent to hard labor.
That's essentially it, yes. Crystal Lake is where they send people for that.
The mines.
The mines. The Kessel mines. Yeah.
So, Brandon, where is the nearest big city that I can find on a map?
Rika, which is a good solid week to the west. It's on the coast.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, as people are talking,
I'm for following Avanti's plan and go after trolls that would get us out of town for a little while.
Yeah, let give a couple of days for this to calm down, and we can deal with the whatever criminal underworld is running this troll gag.
Yeah.
So you're saying that whatever you're planning on doing involves getting out of this town?
Not permanently, just until things settle down after this little to-do.
So what you're saying, what you're planning on doing involves getting out of this town?
Yes.
Are you in?
hang on. Ogilvy.
Yeah.
I'm going to share something with Ogilvy. I don't know how well this will share because it's video. But meanwhile, while the conversation's going on, this is what Ogilvy is looking at.
You know, this man has a whole bunch of videos. They're all really deranged.
Oh, she ate the mushrooms, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Ogilvy thinks everything is just a really good idea right now.
And really pretty.
Well, I can see why she wants to hang out with teenagers. This looks like a hippie and high on cocaine kind of thing to do.
Remember, Ogilvy, all mushrooms are edible. Most of them only the once.
Ogilvy, make a.
Now, where'd she get these mushrooms?
You don't know. Oh, shoot. I'm sharing the wrong thing. I may as well stop. All right. So,
Yes,
yeah.
share more.
It's just game stuff. I wasn't even thinking that I was sharing the same thing. What was I looking for? I've completely forgotten what I was doing. All right. Anyway, so Ogilvy is just like.
She's dancing.
Oh, in her head, anyway.
To music only she can hear.
To music only she can hear.
To disco lights only she can see.
It rearranged everybody when it came back. So who was next? I think it was Eldon. Eldon, what do you want to do with your next 24 to week long of hours?
Leave town.
Oh, that seems straightforward.
Go somewhere else. Somewhere, say, interesting. Somewhere, maybe even exciting.
Okay. Jarell.
What Eldon said.
Sounds like a plan.
At this point, I'll pull out a map and I'll start pointing out places of
At least
interest.
for a little while.
places of interest around this town before the plague happened. Because all of my
Going
information
after
is probably
trolls
about
sounds
35
like
years
it
out of
could be
date.
different.
What was that, Leslie?
I said going after trolls sounds like it could be different.
I'm in awe at how many roads there are on this map and how many possible places town could be. And it finally settles into Avanti that maybe she's not going home anytime soon.
There's a lot out there.
It
Yeah,
just
Listen,
seems
if
that
you-
way of riding a pig for 2 weeks.
If you
I mean,
don't
my
want to
house
leave
isn't
town,
gonna
we
go
can try
anywhere.
going
We
and
can help
checking
you
out
look
the
for your
Citadel.
house for a little while.
Sorry, Leslie, go ahead.
Leslie, what?
Yeah. I said to Avanti, I said, my place isn't going anywhere. Nobody knows it's there. We can help you look for your place for a little while.
What'd you say, Lloyd?
If any people don't want to leave town, there's the Citadel in the middle of the river that we could go check out. Nobody's ever come back from that.
It's true. No one has. In fact, the bridge across the there's a bridge across the river. It's not a small river. The bridge is really wide and has, stonework buttresses along the way. And then there's the Citadel in the middle, and the bridge continues to the other side. The Citadel actually blocks the bridge. So because no one has ever come back from the Citadel, no one crosses the river except by boat. So that's fun. But there's not really any reason to go across the river because there's nothing on that side. I mean, you can see old abandoned buildings and some docks and things, but no one lives on that side. Speaking of which, somebody comes in. It is a courier. Among other things, there is a couriers guild here in Vodni Brana. They are generally trustworthy. I mean, you might not want to send a sack of coins that way, but generally speaking, they don't open the letters they're told to deliver and whatever. It's generally a trustworthy thing. Courier comes in, looks around, walks up to the obvious paladin, and says, "Are you the paladin of the Wing Gauntlet?"
I'm
Not to be clear, not the. And that's not the courier saying that. That's me saying that. The courier said the. The courier did not say a. Holding
I'm a sister of the order.
holding a scroll with the ribbon around it with the wax seal on the ribbon. Just here you go.
It could be big. I say to the people around. I say to the people around the table, this could be big. Thank you very much.
Question, do guilds, I mean, out of character, does the guild couriers expect to be tipped?
Nobody expects to be tipped. You're paid for your
Well,
job.
just curious.
Yeah, tipping's not a thing. Tipping's stupid.
Okay, just
You're
curious.
paid for your job. So, it's my fantasy world.
Just curious.
Your fantasy world has a minimum wage you can buy a house on, damn it.
Damn straight. All right. I mean, there are some people who do survive on tips, but they're basically people who are self-employed, like beggars.
Yeah, that's
Or whatever,
Jacob.
freelancers.
Well,
Yeah,
look at
essentially. People like what Jacob's doing now. Whether you call that tips or not, it's up to you.
Yeah.
So the courier leaves.
Okay, I look over. Check to
oh,
see.
Ogilvy, make I would call this endurance. Make an endurance roll. And I'll roll it against you, and we'll see what you get.
One dice or two?
No, 2 dice. Just if I tell you just a stat, but not a skill, just roll 2 dice.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I rolled really well. You're going to blow it.
Oh, I don't know. 10?
14. Ogilvy stands up and begins dancing with the other people in the room who are all dancing.
Of course.
I kind of lean over the table and sniff her meal.
I thought I was the first person here. Did she start drinking before she got here?
Does her meal smell interesting?
No, it
Look at it.
smells like fennel and mint, just like yours.
They put
Maybe
some.
she's just happy.
Okay.
She does seem happy.
I'm sure we can ask her later.
Okay.
There will be a perfectly reasonable explanation.
I'm not touching what she drank.
Pick up her glass, like, smells like beer.
It's just ale.
Not touching it.
So anyway, Avanti has a scroll.
Yes, I look it over and see if there's any to and from on it.
I'm sorry. See
Any
if it's what?
obvious any like obvious markings as to who it's from.
On the outside,
Yeah.
the wax seal has a seal of the city, which I'm not sure you'd actually recognize or have any reason to recognize. But if you do, that's what it is.
Oh, it's not from the order. I'll just
No,
open it up. And
it's
see
definitely not from the order.
Okay, that's all I care about. I just open it up and see what it is.
Okay. It is a letter written on behalf of the Lord Mayor of Vodni Brana, asking if you would please come today between the hours of 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock at Town Hall to discuss a matter of town business. And it is signed by the Secretary of the Lord Mayor of Vodni Brana.
Well, it'll give us something to do while we make travel plans, yes?
I guess so. Sure.
And someone
But
they're
you're
trying to
invited,
kill.
not us. I mean, unless he'll let us come with you.
Lord Mayor Fulko.
Fulko.
What's his reputation, Brandon?
I showed the note
do you
to
have
the
culture?
others so they can.
No.
Is he as crooked as the town guard?
Oh no, God no! How could he be? No, that's a make a 1d6 culture roll then.
5 plus my reason.
Yes,
9.
which is exactly what you needed.
Oh, maybe.
You haven't heard anything particularly good or particularly bad about him.
Oh, okay. Well, that would
When
explain
people
why.
mention him, it's just so and so made a proclamation to do this, and it's usually something dull but necessary.
Okay, cool. So he is not renowned for his corruption or for his lack of corruption.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, then I suppose we should check it
Sure,
out.
let's go talk to him. I've never met him.
Well, at this point, you've got a couple of hours before
I
they.
didn't vote for him.
Well, yeah.
You're not sure. You're not sure anyone actually votes for him.
Jacob has
It's not
to
really
finish
how things
writing
work.
his Chart. Ogilvy has to finish whatever it is she's doing. If not, I'll talk her down out of it.
Apparently, she's got a while to go before the set in her brain wraps up.
Ogilvy will dance for about an hour, and it'll like gradually fade away. And you know what you've been doing for the last hour.
Yeah.
You said other people are dancing too?
Oh,
Yes.
everyone was dancing.
Everyone was dancing.
Except us.
She was the only person we saw dancing, right?
This is correct.
Yeah.
And everybody
Why?
in the legend just kind of walks around her. You know? I mean, she's not hurting anybody. Actually, from time to time, probably somebody walking across the room will stop, like look at her for a second, dance with her for a minute, then bow and keep going what they're doing.
Yes.
I found in my experience that people in bars will put up with an enormous amount of really weird behavior as long as you're in the bar and you're not like knocking people's drinks over. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, she doesn't interfere with anybody or become rowdy in that sense. She's just clearly having a great time
I
dancing.
guess she can't hold her beer.
She had like
Is
one
it
beer.
possible?
Ready to learn her.
Is it possible to be that much of a lightweight?
Well, Havilands are very small.
But very hardy.
So about
Obviously,
about an
she's
hour
not
later,
here.
Ogilvy doesn't have to keep dancing.
Might be a little exhausted.
No doubt.
Yes, more to drink, please. I need some nourishment.
You can have second lunch. By the way,
Time for a stout.
what the heck was in your beer?
There was nothing in my beer.
Then what'd you eat?
I just had a gift from a friend.
Neela brings you over a fresh stein.
Yes,
ale.
thank you, and I
You
paid
think
for it.
those are good friends, but you know they usually cause trouble.
Must have been a really good friend.
From time to time, Neela will go out to the alley and check on the progress that Jacob has made.
Mm.
So let's say at about this time, with Ogilvy resting,
Coming down from
Jacob's
it.
probably about 2/3 done. He's probably got maybe an hour to go.
Which would be enough time for us to wait for this meeting. If he wants to come with us.
Yeah, they'll go ask him, tell him about the meeting.
Wipe my brow. Sure.
And yeah, if you want to go when you're done.
Okay. About another hour, I think.
All right. I'd hate to interrupt a man's work day.
All righty then.
Cool. Well, an hour later, Jacob wraps up. Neela pays you your 3 copper and says, you can have dinner now, or I heard them saying they had somewhere to go. If you want to have it later, that's fine. Just tell whoever's behind the bar that you moved the grain to the brewery and we owe you dinner.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
And now, of course, Sorrel, being as curious as she is, so what did your friend give you that made you so happy?
It was just an unexpected treat.
But what?
I wasn't sure if it was going to be fun or possibly
Was it
kill me.
candy?
So.
Was it food? Was it, what was it?
It was just mushrooms.
Oh.
Just mushrooms. Fungi.
Oh. That's interesting fungus. It was fun watching you though.
It was fun dancing. I was surprised you guys didn't join me.
Like sharp pinch.
We weren't quite seeing what you were saying. Now maybe if one of us had eaten one of the mushrooms too, yeah, maybe we could have joined you. But no, thank you, not right now.
Yeah, right.
Well, eventually Jacob is done.
Yep.
And
Okay.
joins you guys.
I go on the light ales.
Clunk. There you go. On the house.
Oh, well. Thank you much.
So, Lord Mayor, he either wants to thank us, arrest us, or he has a job for us. And in this town, I'm kind of hoping it's the last one.
So am I, but let's go find out.
I would think so. He specifically asked for you, and he wrote it down as a request as opposed to sending, say, guardsmen.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's anything bad. And as you're a itinerant paladin, and he's coming looking for you, he's looking for somebody to do him a good deed. That's my guess.
Most likely.
Smart.
Let's go find out.
Yep. Time to go find out.
Oh yeah, you head to town hall.
So, yeah, Jacob did not clean up or anything. He's just going like as he is.
Big, sweaty, smelly human. The
Maybe like a
non-humans.
That's it.
Probably a light dusting in wheat chaff from the
Probably
barley.
so.
Jacob, you want me to clean you up? I've got a spell for that.
Can you make me smell purdy too? I actually say kind of sarcastically.
Let's find out. Try it. Cast a cleaning spell on him.
Let's double check something. Let's see. It is cast on a person, so you got to roll and pay a point for it.
Okay.
But let me double check something. Doodly doodly doo.
I don't know if this is a weather change or the shot, but splitting headache down this side of my face.
It's probably
A single target, but doesn't do damage, and is voluntary. Yeah, okay. No, you don't have to pay points for it.
Okay.
It is on a person, so you got to roll.
Oh, okay.
So make some rolls.
probably the shot.
It's +0, so it's just a straight thumb. No, I think it's physically impossible. Can you roll less than a 10?
I suppose I could.
I don't think so, because you
I
have
do.
expertise.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's right. I reroll it.
I think the lowest you can roll is 6 plus your power level.
Okay, 17.
Lay down.
Is that the lowest you can roll? Seriously? No, that can't be
No,
right.
I rolled a 9.
I think the lowest you can roll is 13. Is that like
3,
your minimum?
6, and 7. So yeah, 13.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 10, so you made it.
Okay.
you can't fail.
Okay. So yeah, all
Anyway,
of a sudden
yeah.
Jacob goes, and all the dirt flies off of it.
Oh, that's fancy.
Meanwhile, the
No.
3 people in the bar nearby go, "Oh, Jesus! What the hell, man?
I thought you were going to wait until we were on the street for
What the?
that.
Why?"
From behind her shield.
Looking at Jacob like he's the asshole.
I think
Sorry, I need to find a method to get it to precipitate out of the air faster.
How
so
about just doing it outside in the wind?
test subject? Oh, I'm okay with that.
Fuck.
Well, it wasn't going to do you any harm. I mean,
Well, thanks.
It's like,
I do that
it's
to
in my
fine tune it a little
beard.
because otherwise you lose your initial first layer of skin.
This is visual. It's like, oh, it's in my beer. Man.
He drinks it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Goes back for a second sip.
And all these people are Havlin, by the way, all around you. You're the only non-Havlin in here. Okay, so there you go. You got Jacob clean. Although humans are notoriously sweaty and smelly. It's just what they do.
Did that also make me smell pretty?
You have a lack of stink. Does that count?
Yeah,
You just smell-
comparatively,
you
yeah.
know.
You don't smell like flowers.
Oh, okay.
You just don't smell like, sweaty socks. So. All right, moving on. So where do you go? What do you do? You go to town hall?
Yes.
Yes.
It's in a big building near the center of town, not too far from the castle, which is the bathhouse. The castle's closer to the river, and town hall's like a block in on a big courtyard. There's a great big courtyard, and town hall is there, and several other large significant buildings are there. And you go in, and there's people in there, and there's a person behind a desk who seems like the sort of person you check in with. And I'm assuming somebody checks in with them.
I walk in.
We'll say it's a desk with like 3 people behind it.
Okay.
They look up. The person closest to you says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I'm Avanti Manisha from the Order
The
of
Paladin.
the Yes.
Yes. Wait, just a minute, please. If you would be so kind, sit, make yourself comfortable for a minute, and
Thank you.
I'll let the Lord Mayor know that you are here.
Thank you very much.
She calls to a page, and Page trots off down a hallway and down through a door.
I tell the others this is either very, very good or very, very bad.
Hey,
They seem unusually polite and deferential.
Is this like City Hall, like grandiose, beautiful, marble, that kind of stuff?
Probably was one.
Fairly so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm basically gaping at the wonder
It
of
seems
it.
kind of understaffed
Wow.
for the size of building it is. Like it feels, well, in modern parlance, it feels like it's the weekend. It's like
Ah,
it's like
okay.
it's a bigger building than the people in it need, because there's not that many people here. There's the 3 people behind the desk, and then there's like 3 or 4 other people milling around, and 1 person waiting. And this is a bigger room than that, so it's a little weird.
I guess before the disease, it was probably a lot fuller.
Could be. A couple minutes later, Paige comes back, whispers something to the person behind the desk, and then comes over to Avanti and says, "If you follow me, I'll take you to the Lord Mayor."
Oh, thank you.
Oh, the
Right.
Paige is about 16, 17.
Okay.
Boy. And once they're sure Avanti's following, we'll walk away and down a hallway and
And not really care whether the rest of us are following Avanti.
correct.
Okay.
You do or you don't. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Are the
I'm
rest of
following. I'm following. Curiosity, after all.
Anybody not following? Just so
Nope.
I know.
Jacob's gaping at the artwork and the statues and all that
Okay,
frippery.
Jacob looks around and realizes everybody's like at the other end of the room,
Oh.
walking
Oh,
away.
I'll probably
That's
grab
why
him.
I run to hurry up.
Okay. Paige leads Avanti down a hallway into another room, not quite as big as the first one, up a huge ornate set of stairs. Like you could walk 4 abreast on these stairs. They're that wide. And then to the second floor to a big room that has lots of desks in it. Let's say a dozen desks in it. And there are 2 people sitting at desks. And then at the end of the room, on a slightly elevated area, I'm not going to call it a dais, it's just slightly elevated, like 1 step up, there's another desk with a guy sitting behind it. And the Page leads you up to this guy. And he looks up, and he stands up as you approach. Oh, I'll show you what it looks like. Lord Mayor Fulko. Let's see. Do I have the door already open? I do not. Here you go.
So Leslie, you say it's probably the shot giving me a headache?
Probably. Is it on the side that you got the shot?
No, it's the opposite side.
Yeah, but it probably still is. They said headache is one of the things.
Okay. Cool.
Hey, he's dressed formally. I mean, it's not literally a tuxedo because that's not what formally looks like in this culture, but translate that to a medieval society, and he's dressed in a informal attire, and he stands up, and he looks at all of you, and he looks at the Page, and he looks at Avanti like in a, is that the one? And the Page like nods, and he steps around his desk and then off of the little step that the desk is on, and bows to Avanti, and he says, "I'm so pleased to meet you. Hello, I'm Lord Mayor Fulko."
Pleased to meet you, Your Honor. I'm Avanti Manisha, and these are the friends who have been helping me since I came to your town.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. Would you prefer to stand or sit?
Good standing, thank you.
Depends
Oh, okay.
on what.
Really?
I'm good standing too.
Are we discussing business? Having a tennis match?
Business.
Tucks in his shirt.
Town business.
Oh wow, we can either stand or sit at your pleasure. You are, of course, our host.
We're standing. We can stand. I don't mind. So, I was hoping you would help the town with something. You came recommended from a highly respected person in the town, and
Probably the Lord.
you'd helped him, and I hoped you might help us.
It depends on what you need help with.
Perfectly reasonable. There's a town about 3 days north of here called Crystal Lake. And
Oh, the troll. I'm sorry.
I shouldn't interrupt.
I
Is
don't
it about the troll at the bridge?
know what the bridge between here and Crystal Lake.
Yeah, a merchant said there's a troll, took his cart and his goods.
Oh, good heavens! Well, that's awful.
Yes,
We can take care of that.
I was just thinking we ought to go and take a look in case it needs our work.
Well, that's terrible. No, I didn't know anything about that. Is that recent?
Yes, a few days ago. I'll check with the Merchant Guild before I go. Perhaps I can get both of these jobs done at once then. So please
Okay.
continue about Crystal Lake.
Well, it's actually the mining guild came to us asking for help with this, and apparently they've been having trouble getting shipments to Crystal Lake. Now that you mention it, maybe this troll has something to do with it.
More than likely.
Wow, we've barely begun talking, and already you've found information that's useful. So, but the actual thing that I was going to ask you about was a shipment of bakery flour, extra fine bakery flour, and milled sugar. We need to send that to the mining town. It's very important, absolutely important, life or death. But the last
Manager's
shipment
birthday?
never got there. So
I was going to say it's somebody's birthday.
it's complicated. Perhaps they can tell you more about it once you get there.
Well, it's probably the troll. She's probably right.
Well, I leave. You're clearly more qualified to have an opinion on that than I am. So, would you be willing to provide escort for this supply shipment to the mining town, Crystal Lake?
That seems reasonable. We were headed that way anyway.
Oh, that's convenient.
Perhaps we should go slightly ahead of it and set up a trap for whoever tries to bother it.
I leave that completely to your discretion. But it is extremely important that the shipment gets there on time.
When
Okay.
does the caravan or whatever leave?
As soon as you're ready.
Ah, okay.
So
I'm
to
ready.
Avanti, it's like, so are these people all with you?
It seems so.
Okay.
We work well together.
Well, I was authorized to offer you 70 silver. So, but I was only expecting you, not like a whole group of people. I could probably go to 100 silver. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable enough.
Good. Thank you. Awesome.
We're a team of 5, yeah.
Splendid. Right then. Well, great. He goes over to his desk and he gets a piece of paper and he signs it and he hands it to Avanti.
Okay.
It basically says the holder of this paper has been authorized to provide escort for your caravan to Silver Lake.
Crystal Lake.
Like,
Crystal Lake. Yes, Crystal Lake. And please treat them with respect.
okay. Thank you very much. We will do our best.
Excellent. Thank you so much. You have no idea. You have no idea how much you've helped. Well, what was your name? And the page says her name. Take them to the mining guild offices, and then they'll tell you where to go from there.
Okay. On the way, I want to stop by the Merchant Guild offices and check on that merchant and tell him we're willing to take up his troll problem.
Are you telling the Lord Mayor that, or are you just saying that?
No, I just on the way to meeting up.
Do you ask
with
the page
caravan.
to show you where that is, or what? Because the page's intention is to take you to the mining guild, which is not in this building. It's like a 10-minute walk from here.
I tell him we need to stop by the Merchants Guild real quick. There's someone I was talking to yesterday. I need to check with.
Oh, okay. Page like stops and looks around and goes, okay, this way. And
Okay.
the Merchants Guild is actually one of the buildings on that big center square.
Okay. And then
That's
exactly
pretty
like Avanti told the mayor she was going to do, she's going to try and get paid double for this job.
You go in the Merchants Guild, it's a much smaller building, but it is full.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody go along with Avanti, just want to make sure nobody's wandering off.
We're pretty much sticking to a Vodni.
Well, again,
Great.
Jacob is kind of looking around the room. He gets left behind because he's looking around on the finery, and he tucks in his shirt and hurries after him. That's how kind of role playing his lower realism.
Look around.
His look. He was probably still walking around the mayor's office, and the mayor didn't even realize he was there. Everyone else had already left. And they're like, "Oh, I'm behind again." This is how I'm role playing his fairly low reason, not really paying attention all that much.
Fine by me. You get outside and you start looking around. It's like what they you can't be but like a moment behind them, but you don't see the Havlins are short. So you're looking around. You don't. Oh wait. There's Zeral. Okay, Zeral stands out. So there you go. They must be that way. So you hustle through the crowd.
I run out of wood, so I run to catch up.
The page takes you to the Merchants Guild and
Okay.
goes inside, and the page walks up to somebody behind a desk and talks to them for a second, and the person behind the desk like leans around the page and like looks over at Avanti, looks over at the page, says, "Yeah, great, awesome, let's do it." And the page walks over to Avanti and says, "If you follow me, I'll take you to the exchequer,
Okay.
who's on staff today." She told me where to go. So the page leads you through past like those little swingy gate doors like they have in courtrooms. You know what I mean? Past one of those, and there's like a guard there who nods at the page, and page nods back, and you go through like hallways, and the page has to like stop and backtrack a couple of times because the place is like a maze. But eventually, you get to an office, and there's a person there, human, older woman, and page comes in and says, "This is Avanti Manisha of the Order of the Winged Gauntlet, who is here to talk to you about a problem on the North Road between here and Crystal Lake." And the woman behind the desk looks up the page and looks at Avanti and says, "Okay, come in. Feel free.
Okay.
Have a seat." Does
Thank
not
you.
stand up.
I was approached the other day by a merchant who had said they had barely gotten away with their cash box, and they're lying.
Talking about the troll.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a problem. We're currently recruiting mercenaries for that. We think about a week from now we should have enough.
Oh, well, we're heading out today if you'd like us to solve your problem for you.
Really? So what are the 3 tenets of the Order of the Winged Gauntlet?
Okay, player does not know these.
No, you don't have to. But Avanti does.
Yeah, Avanti.
Because these are questions that you got asked. Like, what are the 3 most important things? And Avanti said, well, to do this, do this, and do this. And they're like, be honorable, help people, and something else. I don't know. Be brave, honorable, and helpful, or something like that.
Mhm.
It's like just, to Avanti was just like second nature. And they were like, yeah, good answer. So this person asks you that, and Avanti's like, well, to do that, and she's like, oh, all right, then you seem legit. Okay, well, how many of you are there? Because it's a small office and you can't all fit in here. So like a couple of you, let's say Jacob at least, is out in the hallway. So how
I'll
many
stand
of
out
you
in the
are
hall
there?
with Jacob.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I'll stand out in the hall with Jacob.
Yeah, make sure he doesn't wander off.
Yeah, the hallways here are narrow as well. Like you can stand 2 abreast, but your shoulders are touching the walls on either side. It's
I'll
narrow.
explain the architecture to him.
I'll listen intently. Yeah, interesting.
I found 4 of the city's citizens to be very helpful to me.
You weren't kidding. So,
Oh,
the woman behind the desk like starts laughing and says, "Oh, you weren't kidding." All right. So there are 5 of you total then. Oh, all right. Well, so far we know. I don't. I want to make sure that you understand what you're getting into. So far, as far as we know, and these are only people who've made it back to town. This troll has eaten. Wait, I've got a ledger here. She shuffles through some papers. It has eaten 4 horses, 6 carts of goods, including some things that one would not normally consider edible. And we're just assuming it ate them. I mean, it's not like trolls trade, right? So it must have eaten them. So 4 cartloads of goods, and at least 2 men-at-arms have been killed by the creature. According to the people who escaped and made it back to Vodni Brana. So this is definitely a deadly menace. But if you and your colleagues think that you can handle it, we will be offering you, let's say, 250 silver total for all of you, for the survivors.
sounds fair.
And of course, if you don't come back, then you don't get paid.
Well,
What?
That makes perfect sense to me.
Well, yes. We
That's
could
a
find
plan.
something worth a whole lot more than 250 silver up there.
I think she means the troll eats us.
Oh, what's the likelihood of that happening?
Either or.
I don't think it's going to happen, but hey.
As long as you agree. Hang on. She rings a bell. Ding-ling-ling-ling-ling. And a moment later, somebody comes in. A slightly less old man. And she says, write up a standard contract, mercenaries, 5, rigmarole for survivor benefits, 250 silver, Avanta Manisha,
Yeah.
and company. And the guy says, yes, Lady Exchequer. And he leaves. And she says, if you'll wait, it'll take a few minutes.
All right.
Do you want any water? Juice?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
She rings a bell. Same guy comes in. Says, we need water, juice, water. Anybody?
Juice is fine.
One of each for everybody.
We asked us in the hall.
He passes you on the way in, and then on his way out, he'll stop and ask you, do you want water or juice or both?
Oh, juice. Thank you.
Great. He goes down the hallway. You wait. He comes back. He brings back.
Make very pleasant talk with the Exchequer.
She's actually very busy and doesn't want to talk to you.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's clear when you talk to her that she has to like fold the thing up, stop, and talk to you.
In that, okay.
But it's very clear she has things she'd rather be doing than talking to you. She's not going to be rude, but she also doesn't hide her feelings very well.
Right. Okay. No. In that case, I'll make pleasant talk with the page and leave her alone.
Okay. Oh yeah, the page is happy. The page is just they're killing time. So you're a paladin. What's that like? Anyway, moving on.
Lots and
Her
lots
assistant
of
brings
marching.
juice and drinks, and also a little platter of scones, and then goes away and works on that paperwork that she first asked him to do. And then, like 20 minutes after that, comes back with 3 copies of the same contract, all handwritten, and asks, or actually gives them to the Exchequer, who then signs all 3 and asks Avanti to sign all 3.
Okay.
Can you sign your name, or do you can just do an X if you don't know how?
Yeah. I sign my name.
Ooh.
Well, as best as a Havlin usually does.
Right. You get one copy, and the
you
exchequer.
can make out the A and the I and an M, and
That's fine.
It's a whole bunch of mountain ranges, really.
She gives one copy of the contract to Avanti. She keeps one and puts it into like a drawer, and then she rings the bell, and the person comes back and says, "File this," and he takes it away. So then, great. Looking forward to hearing of your success.
Looking
When you
forward
come
to-
back and report your success, we will of course have to send someone to verify it before you can get paid. That was actually in the contract.
Well, yes, unless we can bring back certain proof.
Yes, that's actually also in the contract because it's boilerplate.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Okay. Now we meet up with the caravan that we're supposed to protect from the
Now the
troll.
page takes you to the Merchants Guild. Actually, no, the Mining Guild,
Mining
which is
Guild.
not on the big courtyard. It's down. It's not a particularly great part of town, but it's still part of Old Town, which is the part that's still populated. And you go in, and there's no desk there. There's just people working. And the page, he walks up to like a random person, says, "Hi, we're here about the caravan to Crystal Lake." And he goes, "Hey, Olaf! Olaf!" And somebody else yells, "Hey, it's Olaf back there. Get Olaf. Olaf. So it's like, and that person leaves. And then eventually somebody comes out, and it's a dwarf. And he's got like ink smudges on his fingertips and on the side of his nose. And he goes, "What?" The page waves. Stomp. What is it? It's like, I was told to bring. I was told.
We're here to protect the caravan.
Yes. Looks at you, and you're like a head shorter than him. He's like, "Very funny. Go tell Krieg this is hilarious, but I've got work to do." And he turns around and walks off.
If I tell anyone, it'll be Radu.
You're just assuming he knows who Radu is.
Hey, yo, we're here to help you fight your stupid troll.
Oh, he doesn't flinch when you say Radu, but he like gets through a doorway, and she says "troll," and you almost can hear the and he comes back, walks over.
Never-
He goes, "All right, wait.
You never seen a troll killer before?
Looks at the Haviland a little bit closer. "What are you supposed to be?"
A pig
He is a
farmer.
paladin of the Winged Gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm supposed
She,
to be a
yeah.
pig farmer. Instead, I'm a paladin of the Winged Gauntlet. What were you supposed to be?
"Oh, yank my beard."
Goldsmith?
"All right then." He like wipes his hands on his shirt and bows to you. He says, "I beg your pardon, milady. I didn't recognize you. I have no excuse." "All right then. So are
Happens all the
all these
time.
people with you?"
Well, yes, it takes more than one to fell a troll. Just like eating an elephant. Whatever those are.
"I'm sure you know." "All right then. Well then, follow. Are you? Do you need anything? Are you ready to go? Because the wagon's out back. We've been waiting on the mercenaries from the Lord Mayor. We were told it'd be like another week."
Well, yes, we've been approached by several people and decided to change the time frame a little. Sooner started, sooner finished.
No, this is great.
Right. How are they
They
going
actually-
to make their
They actually
pastries
get there
without
before
this?
a couple of hundred miners die. All right, great, awesome. This is
How are
fantastic.
they going to bake their pastries without the flour and sugar?
So someone told you about the pastries. I'm gonna have a talk with someone. Somebody's lips are a bit loose, but that's not your problem.
Hey, you can't trust
Let's go,
politicians.
let's go.
You didn't hear it from me.
Let's go.
He takes you down a hallway and out into the alley, and then down like a door, and then into like big rolling wide doors. And there's a wagon and it doesn't currently have a horse on it, but there's a horse in a stable, a couple of horses in a stable over on the side, and the wagon is loaded with look like whiskey barrels, and with a tarp thrown over them and then tied down.
Okay.
He's like, well, that's the wagon. That's got your pastry flour and your sugar and some other the ingredients they need. And give me a minute, and I'll have the stable master hook up the horses. And if you're ready to go, you can go.
Oh, we lead the horse ourselves? I thought you were sending a teamster.
No.
No, don't worry about it. We brought our own.
Okay. No, was it not explained to you? No one wants to go on the North Road anymore because of the troll.
Yeah. That's why we were going to go ahead of the shipment
Oh, that's the shipment, and that's what needs to get there.
and wipe it out before the people bringing the shipment could get there.
Well,
It's
that's the
fine. It's
shipment.
fine. We'll take care of it. We'll figure it out.
Ah, great. Stable master, Tim, where the hell are you?
Avanti
and
looks
finds-
at Jacob. You do know how to run one of these, right?
You hear him sound like him kicking a sandbag. Oof, oof.
How hard,
I'm up,
can
I'm
it
up.
be?
I sure do, eh?
Tim hooks up two
Well, you
horses.
put the horse at one end, you got the cart behind it. How hard could it be?
Excellent question.
That's what I say about riding pigs, and yet people find it incredibly difficult.
Never having done either, I really couldn't say.
So Tim hooks up the horses.
I help him.
Oh, thanks.
Think there's something.
He also
How many
gets
horses are there? Is it just 2 or 4?
two.
2.
I'll get Jasu ready for travel. You know, because there's in-town rigged, and then there's overnight travel rigged.
Fair enough.
You arrange the
Jasu-
load a little
Jasu
bit.
looks over at the horses, and the horses like, oh, keep that thing away from us. You're freaking me out. And the Jasu's sort of like, what? You looking at me? You looking at me? You want trouble? I'll give you trouble. Tim has a couple of bags of oats to take with the wagon to give the horses in case you don't find grazing area between here and where you're going, because between here and Crystal Lake is kind of known to not have a lot of good grazing areas, so you kind of have to take feed for your horses unless you want to like spend a lot of time grazing, which they don't want you to because they're in a hurry. Awesome. Everything gets. I'm saying awesome a lot tonight. So Tim has everything hooked up. Whoever seems to be in charge of actually holding the reins, which I guess is Jacob, well, he'll tell you the horses' names because they've got names, and make sure he knows where the oats are and that you actually know how horses work.
I know my way around horses. I make sure I address each of the horses by name up front. You know, kind of give them a little talking to.
Cool.
What are the names?
It doesn't matter.
It's
Radu.
matter. You said they have names.
they do, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. Clover
Rod and Wilhelm.
Clover and Mac.
Sure. Crimson and Clover. So you this is Crimson, that one's Clover. Yeah, you're ready to go. So dwarf you're talking to, Olaf, he's like, right then. So
Right.
That's it? You ready to go? You know where you're going, right? North Road, all the way, stay on the main road. When you get to Crystal Lake, he'll describe where in town you're taking this shipment.
Right.
It's just off of the main square and has a hanging sign of like a bucket with a cloud on it on a sign.
So Jacob nods at everything he says, and he promptly forgets it about half an hour later. So someone's going to have to remind him.
Which is why I'm listening.
Okay. So you head out of town? We done?
Yeah.
Yes.
On the way out of town, Avanti will casually mention to everyone, so anyone ever even seen a troll? I mean, are we talking something the size of a box or something the size of a house or something?
I heard the big. I heard the big.
I will describe them verbatim, how I read about them.
Oh,
Haha.
so I would say just stories, but that's interesting, Eldon.
Never seen one, but I've got various descriptions from various books I've read.
So what's the strategy?
Yeah,
Ask Eldon. What's the strategy then? How do you kill it?
Generally, it helps to be knight in shining armor or in control of a whole lot of fire.
So Avanti and Eldon, the rest of us will stay back. Got it.
I was going to say we have a knight in shining armor and 2 flamethrowers.
Well, Olivia hasn't actually done any magic though yet, has she?
Nope.
Not yet.
I don't know that.
That's true.
But I figure,
Yeah,
I
okay.
figure put 2 and 2 together, which usually equals
Oh,
4, Eldon does.
Oh, actually, I found a pretty good
Together.
picture.
I was gonna say our Jacob puts 2 and 2 together. Eldon gets 4. Jacob gets, I don't know, 3.5, probably a little bit more.
I said usually 4.
Okay. You're right. Who's okay? Avanti can ride Jasu.
I'll ride Jasu out front.
I don't think anybody else has horses, so there's room for 2 or 3 people at the front. 3 easily if they're Haviland. So, well, actually, even at most one of them would be Haviland. So 3 people could fit in the buckboard. Is that what they're called? The bench at the front.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like one more person who could ride in the back on the tarp if you want.
It's a horse and wagon. It's not going to be going that fast. I can walk alongside it.
You totally can. Yes,
Yeah.
That's where I was getting next. Is if you just want to walk next to it, the horse doesn't really move faster than a brisk walk. So
Yeah, your feet get tired. You jump on the back for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, go up the North Road. At some point, it gets dark in the camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna make you do like watches because nobody attacks you. I mean, I assume you do. Somebody watches during the night. It could be Eldon. Eldon doesn't.
Yeah, I was going to say I normally just hang out. So
He's not the best guard, but he's available. But nobody attacks you. And next morning you pack up your stuff and continue forward. And about mid-morning, you see ahead of you down the road what is clearly a bridge, because you can see the road is like a dirt road, and then there's like a covered bridge. It's like a house in the road that like goes up and then goes down.
Is this the bridge? Do we know?
I think so.
Pull the wagon over to the side of the road.
You were told it was about a day north of here, and you're about a day north of here, and it's a bridge.
Okay.
So it might not be the bridge, but it's probably the bridge.
Pull the
Yeah,
wagon.
let's set the horses where they're not going to get eaten once we
Exactly.
screw
Like
this
right
thing
here.
out.
Pull over the side of the road, and I don't know, what do you do? I guess but there's a break, right? And I guess you
Tie them off on a tree or something.
Sure.
I guess I don't know how long we're gonna be. Yeah, I can unhitch them and tie them to a tree. We can do that. Or yeah, easy eating them grass, I guess, so they can graze. And
Okay. Takes you 15 minutes or so.
Okay, and I guess we're going to be investigating the bridge during that time.
Yeah, head up to the covered bridge.
Is anyone good at being stealthy?
probably not. No.
Silly question.
Yeah, I thought so. A stealthy person gets to those who can see without being seen get to tell us what they see.
Good plan.
I'll cast invisibility on myself.
And I can be elusive and very sneaky.
I'm not particularly sneaky, but I am invisible, so I'm going to walk straight up to the bridge.
And I'll come in from another direction.
And this is what's
Sneaky.
called delegation of responsibilities.
Oh, this will work. Let me try this. Okay, the bridge, as you approach it, Oh, this is cool. Come on, man. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Weird. Okay, so this is what the bridge looks like as you get up to it. It's not a wide river, but it's wide enough that you can't just drive your wagon across it. So here we go. So that's the river.
Here's the troll.
Take me to the river. Oh, damn it. I keep doing this. There you go. Yes, that's the bridge.
Nice, creepy, dark bridge. How nice.
Ah,
It is
Wonderful.
a creepy dark bridge. Although it's not a gravel road, it's a dirt road. But other than that, it looks pretty much like this.
I'm probably going to make either a climb up to the top of the bridge or up to the roof on the inside, and make myself as like stealthy as possible.
Okay, so you climb along, and Eldon is in a Weasable. Oh, this is pretty good. I'll go with this. And from the top, bridge looks like this. Although this doesn't show the roof of it, but it's a covered bridge. Fun fact, bridges that don't have roofs wear out way, way faster. It's like a sunlight thing, I think. Sun and rain. The weather
Yeah.
destroys a bridge much, much faster if it doesn't have a roof.
Okay.
So it costs more up front, but it lasts much longer.
Yep.
There you go.
That's why they built them that way.
Yup. All right. So that's kind of what you're looking at, but we're not really doing a battle map thing, but I'm just kind of trying to give you an impression of what you're dealing with. So hopefully it's helpful. So we got Elvin, we got Jarrell. Everybody makes stealth rolls.
That's
I know you're invisible. Pretend for the moment you're not, Elvin.
That's
And
agility, right?
Oh, hey, I actually have stealth. That's right, I'm an elf. Not a particularly good elf, but still 12.
all right, I rolled crap, so you need a 10.
And I rolled a total of 12 as well.
All right, you go up to the bridge. You look around in your various ways. Since Eldon came with Zeral, I'm going to say Eldon is kind of keeping track of where she is. Zeral, meantime, does not know where Eldon is. So there's that. But you are at the bridge, and you look around, and you don't see a troll.
Probably underneath it. Well, my plan was, if we're going to bring the wagon through, was to get myself into a position where I could pounce. So I'm going to probably go into the bridge itself under the cover of the thing and climb up into the eaves of the roof.
Okay.
Meanwhile, what's the ground on either side of the bridge like? Is it like a cliff, or is it just a slope, or?
like a rocky slope.
Okay.
There's
Welcome
not the level of the side of the ground versus level of the river is only like a meter. It's not a huge distance.
Okay. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of space between the bottom of the bridge and the water then.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, I'll look over to one side and cast a blinding flash of light under the bridge.
Good plan.
Zowie. All right. You need to make a roll for that and spend some points. So, did I get it? No. Nat. Let's see. So, it's a natural effect. It's like light, but it's an area, so that's one. Anything else you want to do?
Nope, it doesn't do any damage. It's just like a strobe light going off. Yeah.
Okay. So, 1 on your
Okay.
roll.
14.
Cost. 11. Sweet. You cast a spell, and there's a blinding flash of light underneath the bridge. What were you trying to accomplish with that? Because I want to make sure I tell you the right thing.
Flush out a troll.
All right. And you're looking under the bridge when you do it?
Yeah. Kind of like.
Okay.
You know,
Oops.
What you thought was a large boulder moves, and it's actually the head of the troll who is sitting like shoulder deep in the water under the bridge. And it's like, hey, no.
and then I'll sneak, back up the bank and go, I'm invisible. Still trying to be passive here, so I'll wait to see what happens next.
Okay.
You're just invisibly gesturing to us, right?
Yeah, and remembering, because he is fairly bright, but yeah, remembering after a couple of seconds, they're not going to see me. Okay, well, let's see what the big guy does.
Okay. Meanwhile, people back at the wagon, which is Jacob, Avanti, and Ogilvy, do see like a flash of light from under the bridge.
Do we see the head of the?
No, not from where you're standing though.
Oh, okay.
How far away are you? Would you hear someone say something loud under the bridge? How far away are you? You think?
I was going to estimate like 50 feet or less.
Oh, so you're pretty close then. All right, you hear a voice go under the bridge. Oh no!
Didn't know they were intelligent.
Mm. Stride forward, carry my axe.
We're going to call this the first round. So, Zeral hiding. Eldon.
So Elsa wants to make some noise so that herself. So, is there any kind of anything loose up there that like a loose board or a loose nail I could drop on the ground?
That's actually a very interesting question. Do you have tradesman?
What's that?
Do you have the skill tradesman?
Don't think so.
Okay.
We're just looking for something that looks loose.
1d6 plus your reason.
Okay.
For a tradesman roll.
It would be 7.
Okay. Nothing looks loose. It looks old.
I might have enough strength with my brawn to maybe pry a small board loose. I just want to make noise and then move my position.
Okay. You yank on a board and it like, and then you climb like a lizard down a little bit. Eldon did the flash. Jacob is striding forward. If all you do is stride forward, you can get there at the end of your turn.
I looked to see where the flash came from. It was.
It looked like it came from like underneath the bridge. You don't get a great view of it from where you were standing, but you can tell like there's like a light.
So I go like halfway down the bank and look.
Okay. Ogilvy.
I will use my action to move up to get there to be able to.
I'm going to say it takes a double move to get there, which means you can get there but not attack. Or you can move halfway and potentially attack and still be 10 meters away.
Okay, I'm going to move up because I want to see what's going on before I necessarily attack.
Actually, I have like how far you can walk in your character sheets, don't I? Base move 6 meters, double move 12 for Zeral. I'm just gonna wing it. say a base move will get you halfway there, double move get you all the way. So you say you go how far?
Double move.
So you basically get to this side of the bridge along with Jacob and Eldon, although you can't see him. How about Avanti?
Yes. I'm riding Jasu forward, telling the others, stay back, we still don't know what it is.
All right, cool. A great big hand reaches out from under the bridge on one side, and the hand is probably from here to here, close to 2 meters. It's a great big hand, and on the side of the bridge, and then it like unfolds itself like a clown from a clown car from underneath the bridge and stands up in the water, or crouches in the water, and it's like, what you do that for now?
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't know you were there. We were told to check out the bridge.
Oh, so you heard.
We're maintenance.
No need for maintenance, man. I fix it all up. He taps on the side. Tunk, tunk, tunk. Oh, the troll looks like this. Although he's not snarling, but other than that, he looks like this. And like, you can really only see him from like the waist up, because he's like squatting in the river.
Right. But from the waist up is like 6 stories tall.
1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4. He's maybe only 2 actually, because that's like that and that. Yeah, like 2. Like he could swallow you whole. He's a great big troll.
Yeah.
Long, wet, black hair hanging down, great big long nose, little beady eyes under heavy brows, long limbs.
I tell him, yeah, you see, that's the problem. See, we got paperwork, we got code. That's why I'm sent out here. Let's discuss your needs and my needs. What do you need?
He splashes in the river as he sits down. He's like, been an age since anybody asked me that. Nobody asked what I need.
I know, right? Everybody just assumes.
Well, to be fair, I'm a troll, so people can assume. Young troll, they're antisocial. Me, I like people. Well, not always. Used to I eat them. Tear off the arms and legs and suck out the marrow, man. So tasty. But that's a business for a young troll. You get my age, you want to settle down, have a reliable source of food. So I figure, this bridge, it's falling apart. I fix it. Now when people cross the bridge, they pay me to use my bridge. Everybody win. Although not everybody understand the bargain.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, is right now everybody wants to eliminate the bridge.
Oh, you don't want to use my bridge? I put a lot of work
No,
into it.
they want to burn it down and move it totally somewhere else that you can't find it.
Oh, that don't seem social at all.
No, well, see, they don't see what you've been doing as terribly social.
Did you see the condition of this thing before I got here? He was falling apart. I would not have anybody cross this bridge. He was unsafe.
I agree, and I'd be perfectly willing to pay you for some of your efforts.
Oh,
and for the
that's
maintenance.
reasonable. How about your pig? I've not had a pig in many weeks, man.
No, not Bassett. No, I can't pay you on this trip because, of course, we were sent to, burn the bridge down, kill you, lay waste to this area, but we're not going to do that.
Now, man, why you gotta come more hostile? Did I attack you? Did I pull off your arm and leg and suck on the bones?
No, and we didn't do that to you either. I'm just telling you what the people sent us to do.
Why people got to be so unreasonable, man?
I agree. Their side is unreasonable. Then again, the way they see it, you have been taking all of their goods, all of their horses.
They run away. They leave them. It's not my fault. What am I gonna do? Well, some of it is good. The bread I ate, the flour, not so much. I like flour, but better bread. Meat I eat, the horses I ate, wagons, I put them over there. You can have them. I don't need them. What am I gonna use a wagon for?
I know, right? Okay. So tell you what, we don't have any food with us right now, except
Well,
for
you
the
got the
pig.
pig. I take a pig.
No. Jasu,
All you use the bridge for one pig. That is fair. Is that
Jasu
not
is
fair?
not food. Jasu is not food.
Josh would probably terrible.
You know, how much food are we talking to get a wagon full of a wagon load through? What are your rates?
This is a good question. I don't really know. See, this is my first business venture. Used to, when I was a young troll, life was simple. I tell you a secret not many people know. Troll, when we're young, we're very stupid. All we know is being hungry. You eat whatever you can find. And you get a little bit older, more experienced, you get bigger, you think deeper thoughts. Me, I'm an old troll. I've been around many a year, man. But so I'm tired of the killing and the fighting and the eating. You know how long it takes to grow an arm when you're my size? Young troll, day, maybe 2, me, weeks to grow an arm back. I'm too old for this shit. So I think I settle down. I have nice peaceful business like a civilized person like himself.
Right, but
I fix up the bridge. Clearly people need a bridge.
Mhm.
It's a good bridge now. Why didn't I want to pay?
Well, the problem is signage.
That's
Also,
true.
I'm not knowing what to ask because I got no need for the metal things, the coins. Where am I gonna spend that? No one wants me to come to town, so I just want food, something to eat.
Right. So what we work out, you know, each wagon load, what, 5 pounds of food?
How much is that?
A very, very, very tiny pig.
How tiny?
I kind of do a kind of like a 5 pound.
Oh, like a ham hock. Oh, that's fine.
Okay. We can either go away now and come back in about 2 days with some, or you can let us through and we will come back with twice that on our way down and set up your business for you. Make the arrangements on both ends.
Make it so people will actually stop and pay the troll and not be fighting and trying to kill me.
Right. We
I
let
had to
them
eat
know.
2 people who tried to kill me.
Each
I did not even want to eat them, the second one. I was already full.
Yeah,
But you can't just waste. I hate waste.
each
'Cause that's not right.
cartload, 5 pounds of meat.
Oh, that's fair. I think that's fair. I'm a reasonable troll, I think.
Yeah, and that's a fair price to pay for use of your bridge. You keep the bridge nice.
I do.
You're definitely going to keep bandits away from them.
Hey,
Other
these
men who want to
bandits-
steal from them?
How do I know who a bandit, who not? How do I know you not a bandit?
Because I don't take from other people. I offer to help them solve their problems.
Hey, you offered to solve my problem. So you're not a bandit. This makes sense.
All right. Well, we'll get this cart gone, and I'll start the arrangements with.
Hang on a minute. You think you're gonna outsmart me? You want to use my bridge and not pay? No. What you got on your
Okay.
wagon? No, I'm not taking it. I'm not attacking you. I'm not biting off anyone's head.
Okay.
No, not biting anyone off any head. And but what do you have on your wagon? You got nothing good to eat?
We got nothing good to eat on the way. Flour, not even water. Tell you what, we'll go. We'll hunt you a deer, or maybe 5 rabbits. Just
Hey, that's fair. I'm not good at hunting anymore. I'm too big and slow.
Yes, you need a small, nimble person.
When me a young troll, me jump on a deer. No problem. Now, they hear me coming a mile away. It's why I want to settle down, have thunk, 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 business,
Yes.
be civilized.
A troll should be able to have his own business.
Oh, speaking of civilized, I not have anyone to ask about this. He like reaches under the bridge, reaches up like under the bridge, and pulls down some stuff, and takes out like a great big sheet of cloth with gold thread running through it, and like flips it over his shoulder, kind of like a toga. He's like, "Do I look civilized now?"
Oh, what you really need is someone to come here. Maybe we can suggest someone come here who can sew, and instead of giving you food for moving carts through, maybe they can make you the clothes out of that. That's a real business. You don't eat, but you look so good.
I gotta eat,
Someone else
man.
is gonna come.
Hungry. Nobody wanna see a hungry troll.
You know somebody else is gonna come by with food if you let one cart go for making you clothes. Maybe the next one makes you shoes. Maybe a nice fancy hat.
And
Would
one
like
goes
a
to
hat.
Huh.
Okay. You drive a hard bargain, little person. So you go find a deer or some rabbits or something. I wait.
Okay.
Nobody used the bridge till you come back.
Okay. Okay, guys. All we gotta do is a little bit of hunting.
Oh, that I can do.
Jacob says, "Isn't that the cloth?"
You
that
have
the-
elf with you.
What?
Ah,
I smell elf.
I think that's like you to get the hell out of here.
I was being elf.
I will sneak away.
He like
Our-
I had breakfast.
squints at the Havilands.
Our
Yeah,
elf problem?
I had breakfast with an elf.
No, I
Very
just
nice fella.
I smell but I don't see. It's troubling.
What's
Most elves are.
He's cognitive dissonance.
Is there a problem with elves?
No.
Okay.
Oh, they're snobby. They want to name everything.
Well,
But no problem to me.
all right. So deer hunting, huh? So
Something I can do.
would that fall under survival?
I have it.
Expertise in survival.
Cool.
I was figuring we've got a Zinjin in the woods.
And I'm from the wood, basically. So, I mean,
Although, do you have any ranged weapons?
I do. I have a heavy crossbow, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you spend a half hour in the woods, and you either get lucky and get a deer, or work hard for it and get half dozen rabbits and ducks or whatever.
I think several of us are hunting. So.
Yeah, one way or another, the group of you can bring back at least 5 pounds worth of something
Yeah, I'll be making signs.
within an hour.
Troll fee, 5 pounds meat per cart.
Does anybody stay there with the troll, or do you all leave?
Yeah, I'll
go hunting.
I'll hang out with the troll, have a nice conversation.
I'm going to hide in the woods. Nobody mentioned they were 4 stories tall, man. I was thinking
the
9
critters,
feet, maybe tops.
the troll's head is like twice as tall as Avanti.
Yeah.
So,
He's an old troll, so he's
If-
obviously very, very big.
well, he'll be happy to chat with you. The topics he is knowledgeable about are fairly specific. They have to do with like what trolls do, or what various people taste like.
What?
About entrepreneurship.
Oh, although if you get him onto geography, he's apparently been a lot of places.
Aha.
And at some point he'll mention like it was a whole lot easier to hunt before a few years ago, when all of a sudden everybody disappeared. And he doesn't really know what the deal is with that, but he's been noticing people showing up again lately, and he's happy to see that because
I tell him everybody got sick and most people died.
oh, that's a shame.
It's the way of the world. While we're here, I'm going to start like making him up his signs.
You need some more wood.
You
Hey,
know,
hang on a second. And he stands up out of the river, and he's just fucking giant. And he strides, splash, 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 splash. And then you hear what sounds like someone smashing a house into pieces. And then he comes back with some pieces of a wagon. He goes, it's on wood. It's helpful for you.
Oh, all right. Yeah. And, you know, like I
And he
say, troll thief,
sits back down the river.
wagon. Yeah, it put signs up on both ways.
Hey, who here has tradesmen?
I think I do. Yes.
If you do, give me a roll, and I'll give you an idea that I had, and you can decide whether or not you think it's a good idea or not.
That's a reason.
Yeah. 9.
11.
7.
Okay, well, Avanti doesn't think about it, but Jacob and everybody else comes back with whatever it is they caught or shot or whatever, and just basically just dump it. And it occurs to Jacob, and maybe it makes sense that Jacob would think about it, because Jacob is from a little lumber camp, essentially, that goes into town and sells things and then buys things and comes back. Well, maybe if you set it up with somebody so that the troll could accept coins, and somebody came to the troll periodically to exchange the troll's coins for stuff the troll wanted, maybe that way the troll could just take money rather than people having to have a ham hock on hand. Or not. It's
brilliant.
just
You
an
have to
idea.
find somebody trustworthy enough to do it.
And somebody who's willing to go, take their wagon and chat with a troll for a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd be someone from one of the guilds.
It kind of have to be.
Maybe I could talk that page into it.
That was
People have an idea. Might
Anyway,
work.
It's a potential business venture. I mean, anybody with any monetary sense would probably think that if you've got a wagon and say, 20 pounds of uncooked food, then you can just take it to the troll and trade it for money. He's probably not got a whole lot of business sense, so his exchange rate's probably going to be pretty fluid.
Who's going to actively cheat a troll?
Ooh, good point. He is like 6 stories tall.
Yeah. His intimidation alone
that
might be
sounds like
enough.
a good idea.
I don't know.
No,
Human nature being what it is, somebody will eventually try and rip him off.
I was going to say, the question is, who is going to actively cheat a troll twice?
Well, yeah. Yes, indeed.
well, for now, you bring the various wildlife that you got to him, and he pokes at. He's like, "I think this fair. You may use my bridge. Yeah, it's nice talking to you. You should come back this way again."
Oh, I'm sure we will. Thank you. We still have to go back into the main town and
picks up a goose and
set up your business.
Picks up a goose and tosses it in his mouth like a jujube.
I guess we can ride in a cart and.
Well, one of the things we may want to ask is how bad a condition that bridge had been in by people who've crossed it before. Is it true that the troll did repair it?
Oh, people are tradesmen. Make a roll. Look at the bridge. As you're going through it, you got a good, and you have reason to look at it now, I guess.
I know it's well built because I tried to tear it apart.
You need 9.
11.
So I look at the guy who's on the driving the wagon. I'll sit next to him and say, "Hey, is it true this bridge was in better shape or worse shape?"
Well, the guy driving the wagon is Jacob.
Okay, but I'm saying, I'm going to ask one of the tradesmen.
There are no tradesmen here. You are the only people here.
Oh, you mean we're bringing the wagon?
We're bringing the
skilled tradesman. I'm looking around at the construction of the bridge.
It's clearly an old bridge, but people who have tradesmen and who have I assume you've seen old things and things have been repaired. You can see, there's like huge sections of the parts you're rolling across that the wood is clearly newer and might have once been part of a wagon. But yeah, there's all kinds of parts of it that look like recent additions. Like the bridge itself is clearly very, very old. The wood's like very gray, and a lot of the pieces are like cracked. But all the stuff you're actually riding across is solid.
Somebody did repair it then.
Oh yeah.
It has been repaired. Yep.
And we can ask in town if it's true that they've left it to fall apart and nobody's been repairing it.
Well, it's so far from town.
Yeah.
And there has
Whose
been
responsibility would it be?
So the troll's got a good point then. If he's going to keep the bridge fixed,
Well,
they need to pay him.
He has to keep the bridge fixed and in working order, right? And well, whatever. Yeah.
And if he's paid in money, he can pay somebody like your people, your loggers, for some of the wood to fix the bridge, if it needs fixing in the future.
And why? He just rips up a tree and bashes it in.
That's true, yeah. But that's
Avanti, was part of your plan to write some signs warning as like
No signs. It says troll fee. £5 meat per cart.
or give them the equivalent of the money if somebody wants to bring food out to the.
Well,
marketing. Let's call it bridge maintenance fee.
Yes.
Ooh.
Bridge maintenance fee would be better.
Well, I have a bit of a pun coming up, Brandon.
What's that?
So we'll work on it when we get to the town we're going to. We're taking that flour and sugar, right? So the intention is for them to make Toll House cookies, and then we'll call it a toll bridge.
Troll House cookies.
Troll House, we have Troll House cookies. That even better.
Even better.
Bad.
Thank you, Don. That was even better.
You make your way across the bridge and on your way to Crystal Lake. I need to refill my glass. We take a break for just a minute. I know it's coming up on 9:30, and we're not going to play for that much longer, but I really need to refill my glass.
Cheers.
So,
Priorities.
And that's what happens when the paladin has a high presence.
Okay. So you know that bolt of fabric was the bolt of fabric that merchant was talking about, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking on the way back is to bring him some pastry, something nice, something yummy, really yummy food. See if we'll trade for the bolt of cloth.
Ooh, there you go.
I'm not going to be able to stay up as late tonight because I am really tired since I didn't sleep well last night.
If you need to go, we'll let Brandon know.
What's that? Yeah, I will when he gets back.
Are you gonna go now, or you want to stay till 10?
Soon. I mean, I don't want to stay up till 10:30 for sure because I.
No. We'll end at 10. When you get to town and do one or two things, we can just wrap it up. They won't take that long. We can knock it out at 10 sharp this time. I'm back, kitties. They're all sitting here. Ugh. All right. This is a terrible map. Let's see if we had something better. For fuck's sake, come on.
Which one did you get, Donald? Moderna or Pfizer?
Moderna.
Moderna. Yeah, what you should have done is before you went for the shot, you should have taken some Tylenol.
They say not to do that. That actually prevents the vaccine from doing what it's supposed to do. You can take it afterwards, but
Okay.
Good tip. I got mine on Wednesday.
yeah.
My theory is I want all of the possible side effects of this thing. I want all of the symptoms.
Well, tomorrow
That
you'll
means
probably
if
have
I
a fever.
hadn't gotten it, this sickness would have killed me, and it will make me so happy that I got it.
Well, Donald, I can tell you right now that sometime tomorrow you'll probably have a fever. That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I felt like I was catching the flu for about 8 hours and then it went away.
I've
I
heard
mean,
some
it was very mild.
in Europe.
Fever and a couple of aches.
In Europe, they're experimenting with one dose of one and one dose of another, and that may even be better, but they're not quite sure yet. They're working on that.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm. Oh,
Yeah.
we're going to end up with boosters where you're going to end up getting several.
Sure.
Others, yeah.
Yeah. Get your flu shot and get your coronavirus shot.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Put them in one needle.
Cocktail, yeah, maybe.
No, wouldn't be in one needle. The genetics are
Well,
totally.
remember that the flu
They have
shot
two different
is not a
kinds of
killed
genetics.
virus, whereas Moderna and Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer are just the mRNA for the spike protein.
No,
And
no.
Johnson and Johnson is actually like the regular vaccines.
Yeah,
that's,
J&J
well, and
is
that, yeah, they say it's just it's DNA though.
which is the regular vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnson
Pfizer and
Johnson
Moderna
is
are mRNA and nothing
RNA.
else.
It's not messenger RNA with J&J. It's a regular vaccine like they use for the flu.
Okay.
It's just they have to use DNA instead of the kind of DNA they use for the flu because the
Okay.
flu's DNA is weird. Flu
Leslie
replicates
wants
really, really
us
strange.
to wrap up
Memory
at
would be
10
like,
sharp.
Yeah,
So
let's wrap up.
Sorry.
I'm
Moving
not
right along.
really
okay. So
conscious right now.
I got a map here, but I want to cover something up before I show it to you. So a couple of days, you need to stop and camp, and there are like monsters and stuff, but you've got you're on the right side of the river, and you've got a campfire and so forth. So you don't need to worry about it. Like you hear strange things moving off in the woods, but nothing attacks you because I don't feel like doing that. So maybe later.
Well,
is there some way of getting a quick message back to town, like a carrier pigeon or a magic?
I don't have that. I haven't developed that spell yet.
Okay.
Is it possible? Yes.
But though I got to admit, just traveling with you guys so far, the possibilities for spells that I have to develop are endless.
I'm just
Already,
thinking,
I know that you can create food using magic. I've just never done it before. I've got to figure out how.
yeah, no, I'm just thinking that the Miners Guild and the should probably know that we've gotten past the troll and it's not a big deal before the week is up. And I'm just, how many days? 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure we're going to get back before they send the mercenaries after the troll. And we really need to do that for this.
I know it's possible to create a homunculus. I've just never done that one either.
Okay. I was thinking a bird with a message strapped to its leg. I don't know what these miners use to communicate with home office.
Someone
Well,
carrying a note.
I was going to say a
I'm,
wagon, probably.
I'll tell you what, since I'm not going to be able to stay up all that late, I can probably head back towards the regular town to let them know.
I really do want to wrap up at 10, Leslie. I don't want to make
Okay.
you, I don't want to make you stay
Yeah.
up late, and I don't want to make you miss anything.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 days later, you get to Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
And I'll show you a rough map of the town. Because here you go. I got it, and you can see it. Want to see it? Here it go. Crystal Lake.
Oh, cool.
You actually, the road that extends to the west from here is actually the road you come in on.
Okay.
Is the lake is on your right, and you move around the lake on the west side of the lake, and this is not the river, this is lake, and come up around and then down into the town. It is let's see, it's nighttime when you get there. Let's see what the weather's like. Doodly-doodly-doo. Ooh, All right. It's nighttime. Cool breeze. Not raining currently. The town itself is smoky and kind of loud as you come into it. Not in the outskirts, but once you like get into the main part of the town, it becomes more loud. There are actually people outside carousing. So it's evening. You're in town. What do you do?
Find the
You and your
place we're
wife.
supposed to go.
Yeah, drop this load off.
Yep.
Well, you were told to go to the town square, which you continue down into. Oh, I'll show you the map again. Why not? So, oh, can you see my pointer? Wait, there we go. Oh, hey, pointer.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh,
So you go down here, and here, these are just like outskirt buildings, which mostly seem like houses and barracks and businesses of various kinds. And then when you get to here, this is the town square. Once you get to about right here, you hear noise coming from the south, from this area down here. But if you go forward into the town square, you can see several official looking buildings. And to the right, there's a small building down here that has a sign hanging on the outside that looks like a bucket with a cloud in it.
Huh.
oh, that's the place.
Apparently, they sell cupcakes.
It is
Ha.
closed.
Nice.
Where's my pointer? There we go. It's currently closed because it's nighttime.
That's the place that we're supposed to deliver it to.
Yes.
Aren't deliveries usually made at night?
Are there any lights on at all in it in the place?
On the second floor, there's a light on.
Okay, go to the front door and bang on it.
Mm-hmm.
Delivery.
This is going to be a while.
In that unmistakable, this is the police, open the door tone.
I may inadvertently knock too hard.
I'll even shout out delivery from Vodni
Vodni
Brana.
Brana.
Yeah, Vodni Brana.
Eventually. Oh, these are very silly. Eventually. Oh my God, this works perfectly. Hang on. A very, very short man, maybe half to 2/3 as tall as Ogilvy, opens the door, and like you look down, and he's holding a lantern, and he looks up at you, and he looks like this. Hang on. This fella.
Oh, no.
And he looks up at
It is a
you,
cupcake.
and he's like, "What is the matter with you? We're closed. Closed.
Delivery.
Was the locked door and the dark interior not enough of a hint?"
So you don't want the extra fine flour and the sugar that we've brought?
We can take it back.
Wait. You've got. Yes. Right away. Where is it? Is that your wagon? Yeah, just you can bring it through here. Yes, absolutely. He opens the door and goes inside and starts lighting lanterns and things.
It was worth waking up over.
Yeah.
He goes in and he like kindles his oven and gets that going and lights a bunch of lanterns and gets this place up and going. And he's like, "I need to go get my assistants. So this is urgent. So can you please pile? Okay, over here. Do you know the difference between flour and sugar?"
One tastes good.
Yeah. Sugar's the sweet stuff. Flour's the dry stuff.
Damn it.
I'll
Hang
start
on.
giving
He
you
goes
the
out and looks.
definition.
He climbs up onto the wagon and goes over the tarp. And he comes back out. He says, "Okay, these barrels," and he pats one. "These are flour. And he like pushes the tarp up, and he goes, "These smaller ones," he pats this other one, "these are sugar. The ones at the front that are shaped like this," he's like, "those are special ingredients. So follow me." He hops down and he goes inside. He goes, "Stack the flour here, stack the sugar there. Everything that's not flour or sugar, put here. Okay, I need to go get my assistants. Wake him up." And he pop, walks out.
Sure, why not? I'm
Okay.
looking up one of the barrels of sugar.
I'm curious about these special ingredients. I pay attention to those and see if I can figure out what they are.
They are basically a couple of big wooden crates that are nailed shut. You'd have to like open them to see what's in them.
Any writing on the outside?
No.
Okay.
Whereas the flour and the sugar do have writing on the outside,
Okay.
like where they're from.
I'm not
Like
gonna.
the flour has XXXX on it.
Right.
Jacob, what's in the special crates?
I don't know. There's nothing written on them, and yeah, I don't know.
Oh well, let's find out. Pry the
It's not
top
ours.
off.
It's not ours. It's not ours. We shouldn't open it.
What, you don't want to know?
We can close it
Oh
right
no,
back
I
up.
want to know. It's just not
Hey, it's
mine.
gotta be something that makes
I'm not
pastry.
supposed to open it.
Oh, okay. Well, nobody said we couldn't open it, so yeah, pry the top off with levitation.
You you can just keep trying till you cast it. So just spend a point.
Okay.
And the lid comes off. Inside, it's wood shavings, and in the wood shavings, if you like scoop it away a little bit, are glass jars about yay big.
Mhm.
There's a glass jar full of what look like cherries, and there's a glass jar that looks like white sawdust, and or wood shavings, and there's a smaller jar like about yay big that looks like it's tiny silver balls.
Oh, the stuff you sprinkling. It sounds like cherries, coconut,
Coconut and nonpareils. Yeah,
And
it's the
nonpareils,
shit
yeah.
you put on top of cupcakes. Oh my God, we've broken an illegal cupcake smuggling ring.
Hey!
I'm so embarrassed. Couldn't it have been drugs? White slavery, even. No,
You're
cupcake.
almost done unloading when he comes back with a couple of his.
Out of
what you
acute
assume-
embarrassment, I will close the lid on the crate and pretend it never happened.
He comes back with his assistants, who will first help you finish unloading things, and then they'll start opening up crates, and immediately start mixing batter.
Mm-hmm. Is there a good place to get a night's sleep?
And some food.
A good place? No.
You got no inn?
How about
Well,
a
no,
place?
there are several of them. They're just not good. Do you know where you are? This is Crystal Lake.
What would be the nicest of them?
Ugh. Well, probably
It's
the
a
nicest
mining
town.
town / penal colony. We're standing in the nicest place in town.
Workers' barracks does not count.
Where I had it written down here. Give me a minute. Nope. Oh, I'll have to look it up. But he tells you the place, and he says it's expensive, but it's the nicest place in town. It costs 3 silver a night.
That's all we need is one night.
That is expensive. Is everything that expensive in town?
No. The mining supervisors and the town mayor, governor, mayor, whatever the hell he's calling himself now, and some other of the rich hoity-toities, they hang out there. They charge a lot to keep people from coming in. But if you want to play Dragon Chess, that's the place.
And if you want to meet the mayor, that's the place.
Well, the easiest way to meet the mayor is to wait till tomorrow and then bribe him.
Yes, no, I need to give him the rules of the road.
But you'll probably have to bribe him. Now, here's a question. Were we told whether we're supposed to be bringing something back in trade?
No.
Okay.
No. Just
delivery.
Make the delivery, come back, get paid.
yeah, proof of eliminating the troll if necessary, or someone will go and check. And
Oh, that's
we may have to take a slight partial payment.
I found
How do
it.
we-
Lazar's.
Ren.
Lazar's is the place that is the nicest place in town. I wouldn't really call it nice. I mean, you've been to Rika, right? It'd be it's a dive compared to the nicest place in Rika. But here, it's as good as you're gonna get. And this is the gnome talking to you while his helpers are dumping things into bowls and going out to the well and bringing in dump stuff, and then going into like what appears to be a magical ice box because they take out a steaming but cold steaming fog, a bucket of like milk, and like poured it into several bowls, and they're going to town. There is apparently their intention to use all of this that you brought and bake things with it as soon as possible.
Well, you seem to have your work cut out for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can do this until it actually gets time to put it in the oven. But anyway, thank you.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why was this delivery so important?
Oh, because the miners will die otherwise.
From lack of cupcakes?
Well, lack of cupcakes means lack of air, which means that they will suffocate and die. And they're deep enough underground now that there's not time for them to come up before they suffocate and die. We were all pretty much settled on hundreds of people dying down there, and then the miners having to spend like the next week going down there and bringing their dead bodies up, which is no fun for
What do
anybody.
cupcakes have to do with air?
Exactly. Thank you.
I thought I was missing that
It's
step.
obvious. They're fluffy.
Oh,
No,
that's
it's
true.
the breathing engine. It's what
Engine. That's a word I don't
Okay.
know. What does that mean?
fairies want pastries in order to maintain the breathing engine.
Ah,
It's
and
part of the
the-
contract.
Oh,
The light begins to dawn.
Fairies,
Okay.
cute little guys, run around the forest, those kind of things.
well,
You
I
haven't seen
think
them.
I understand.
No. They're not cute. They're little, but they're not cute.
Huh.
And by
They
little, I mean
cupcakes.
smaller than me.
That's their
No,
Like,
pay
and he
for
holds
keeping the
he holds up a
breathing
hand
engine
next to him at like a little below shoulder height. They're little, but they're not cute.
going. So that's their pay for keeping the breathing engine going.
Uh-huh.
Huh. I could-
And
I could
they
see horses get
will
paid in, I
absolutely
guess.
shut it off if by it's midnight tomorrow, so I think we've got plenty of time to cook it all up. And thank you. But no, he's looking at his. They don't have watches. What am I looking at? Wait, he looks at the sky. He says, by midnight tomorrow, if we didn't have this delivered, the breathing engine would be off, and it wouldn't take long after that for everybody, except there's a couple of dwarves down there, but so they'd be okay, but everybody else would suffocate.
So,
Um,
since you're so
well,
We were
Everybody
supposed to get this shipment weeks ago.
Oh.
Weeks ago. I don't know what the hell's going on.
So could you do us a favor and cook us up some of those fancy eats to take back with us?
Mm-mm.
Maybe about.
No, these are all for the fairies.
Oh, okay. Not even a couple.
Okay, I'll give you a couple.
We just save hundreds of lives.
We always estimate a little bit 10% over, so we
Oh,
can like
of course.
snack on a few. But
Oh.
so we'll give you a couple out of that, but don't tell anybody. If these assholes knew, they'd be out here to heartbeat taking my cupcakes.
That's
So-
fair. Well, thank you.
What are you, Eclairs?
Okay.
Do you like eclairs?
I
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
know, I don't know if I've had one, but it sounds yummy.
He'll describe an eclair to you.
My eyes are like stars. Yes, please.
Wonderful.
That sounds amazing.
Oh my God! Did you bring the cocoa? He goes over to the.
As he
crates
talks
of-
about something of all the exercises and all the wood chopping I'm gonna have to do to work off those extra, energy.
He goes off to the crates of special ingredients, and one of them just opens really easily, and he's like, "Well, that's weird." And okay, so okay, and he opens up the Krybar opens up the other one, and there's like a metal tin, and he pops it open, and like a little like like not quite smoke, but like dust, like a brown dust comes off of it, and he goes, "Ugh, yes, Coco, yes."
Pure unsweet.
Eclairs, we have eclairs. We've got eclairs, boys. And they're like, "Woo!"
Okay. I'm ready to go home now.
Okay, yeah, I've seen enough of Crystal Lake. I can leave and just mark it off my list.
All right. Well, he'll give you directions to
I
Lazar's.
want to meet the boss of this place and let him know what the deal is on shipment. If not, if it's not the mayor, it's going to be the head of some guild or another, and the mayor will know who.
It'll
Are
be
you
the
saying
head
that
of
among
Teamsters.
yourselves?
Yeah, it's
You're
well,
like,
not,
no. There's not just no. Let me give you the rundown. You've got the governor, mayor, governor, whatever, who basically has no power at all. Then you've got the mining supervisors. Now, back when we first got here, there were like close to 24 of those. Now there's 6. Smake has basically shut down all of the other ones. So you don't want to get into politics. If I were you, I would just avoid all of them. Just avoid all of them.
Here's the trick.
Oh, and if you see a guy with an eye patch, walk the other way. He's head of the sound guard.
Here's the trick. Anyone heading from here into Vodni Brana needs to bring with them 5 pounds of meat per cart to pay for the maintenance on the bridge.
Yeah, you should tell the governor that.
Okay.
Governor.
I mean, he's useless, but that is his job, right? So.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
what
then you hear a whistle from behind him. He's like, "Oh, nope. I'm going to be busy for the next 8 to 10 hours, so have a good night." He closes the door.
Carry on.
Bon appetit.
Jacob runs away, dreaming of eclairs.
It's okay, Jacob. We can stop by on the way out.
I don't know if I can wait.
So you go to Lazar's. Where is this?
Baker names. Okay.
And Brandon, it's
Now
10
I've
minutes
seen them all.
if you want to take a break before getting into the mayor. If you want to say we get a nap in.
The mayor or the governor? Mayor?
Well, it is
Governor.
nighttime, so the mayor's not working. But I was going to tell you about Lazar's if I could find my write-up for it.
Okay. Well, I
here we go.
figured if he wasn't working, he'd be at Lazar's drinking it up or whichever vice he's got.
I'll read this to you. And you can get there and we can just do a couple of introductions and then we'll call it a night. Yeah. Those seeking a relatively cultured night spot often congregate at Lazar's house, a cozy gaming parlor situated on the Vein's central square. The Vein is like a road that goes through the middle. You're basically in the middle of the Vein right now. All that noise is from the rowdy end of the Vein where the miners hang out and spend the wages that they earned in the previous week underground. Lazar's house is much nicer. In contrast to the ostentatious banners and garish chipped paint on the Emporium across the street, Lazar's exudes a quiet sense of class, with a stylish stone and timber construction and distinctive crooked peaked roof. I'm not sure what that means. Inside, Crystal Lake's elite match wits over dragon chess. Blah, 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 blah about dragon chess. Who gives a shit? A central hearth, constantly stoked to comfortable warmth by the courteous staff, serves as a hub of a roughly circular interior. Along the ring, 8 alcoves offer excellent locations for private conversation or even romantic trysts. Blah blah blah. And lots of people are playing chess apparently. So a lot about this. Lazar is a male human. Okay. And people are dressed nicely. Doodly-doodly-doo. Okay, cool. And there's a bouncer who's a big albino orc. Right then, go to Lazar's. This is where you're told to go.
Mm-hmm.
there's not a bouncer as such. There's no one like at the door to keep you from going in. But when you go in, you have the distinct impression that you're borderline unwelcome here until you prove you are welcome. That is.
Mm-hmm.
A few heartbeats after you walk in the door, custodian. Wait, what was it called? Not custodian. Not courtier. What's the word?
Is that the big albino orc?
Staff. No, one of the staff people, just a basically normally dressed person with that like weirdly fancy formal thing that says I'm a servant. It's hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. One of them walk up to you and says, hello, are you here for a game or for lodging or for a meal?
Well, we've just arrived into town to help save all the miners. And
Looking for the mayor?
Yeah, I was hoping we could speak to the mayor before...
Oh, I'm so sorry. He's in the middle of a dragon chess game. He can't be disturbed.
Oh,
But
well...
what would you like? Would you like a game or a meal or lodging?
Perhaps a meal or some lodging. I've been on the road for several days.
Meal and lodging sounds
We also
good.
need stables for the horses and the place to store the wagon.
I'll take care of that. Walks over to somebody else and talks to them, which is they're dressed the same. That person leaves. And
Oh, the word you're looking for is livery, Brandon.
livery, yes. Before he goes over to talk to the second person, but then stops and comes back and says, do you want typical stabling for your horses, or do you want refined stabling for your horses?
Well, they belong to the mining guild.
Right.
Which do you think they would prefer to pay for?
Typical. All right. And he walks over to the person.
It's like they're cart horses. They're not thoroughbreds.
Yeah. That person leaves through the same door you came in through. Says, okay, they'll take care of your horses for you. That'll be a copper a night. And lodging for 5, be 15 silver. And if you'd like dinner as well, that's another silver.
Sure.
Each.
Okay. So 20 silver.
And Zoral is, of course, looking over the male clientele to
This
see
is
about
exorbitant for the quality of the place this is, by the way.
Yeah. I figured.
This place is only slightly better than the legend. Slightly. And it costs like 10 times as much.
Yeah, but we're only here for one night, I hope.
Cool. Somebody pays 20 silver.
City.
The staff person takes you to a table, sits you down. There is a dragon chess board on the table. It is 3 different levels, kind of like the space chess on Star Trek.
Yeah.
But there's no pieces. It's just the board. And it says your dinner will be brought to you. And then leaves.
Cool.
See who else is here.
You see a few rowdy-looking people stalking around whose job apparently is to keep the peace. They don't talk to anybody. They don't sit down. And from time to time, they do talk to one person. There is an albino orc. Anybody actually seen an orc? They look like the big
Seen
orcs
pictures.
in Lord of the Rings. They're big and angry-looking and muscular. Except this guy's
Ugly.
albino and hairless. He's bald. They're not always bald, but this guy's bald. And he's got some wicked-looking scars. From time to time, the other thuggy-looking people will come to the orc and say something, and he'll say something, and then they'll leave. And other than that, there's just kind of upscale townsfolk, not full-on nobility-looking, not fancy, but their clothes are clean, and their hands don't have calluses.
Okay.
And a good 2/3 of them are playing dragon chess, moving pieces on a board. That's what you see.
Well, Leslie and Zoral want to go to bed.
Yes.
Okay,
I am so tired.
we'll go ahead and wrap up there. You have dinner. When you're about done, staff person comes and asks if you're done, and will then show you to your rooms.
Okay.
Let's see, you got 1, 2, 3. They give you 3 rooms. First one they'll say, gentlemen here, and that's for the dudes. And the next one they'll say, 2 ladies can be in this room, and whoever's left over. They don't use the word leftover, they use something more polite. The third lady of your party can have the other room. Up to you to who is where. Hot water will be brought to you in the morning for your bath.
I asked them, how much is the nice treatment for mount?
The stable where your horses were taken is a copper a night per horse. If you want somewhere nice, she says the name of the person whose name I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. Has a stable for people who actually want their mounts treated well, and that's 3 copper a night.
I hold out 4 copper and say, could you arrange it for Jasu, my boar?
Your
boar.
I don't understand.
Tusks.
What boar? Boar like a
Giant
wild,
buffles.
like a boar? A boar?
More like a boar.
Like
A war pig.
boar?
Yeah,
A war pig.
my war pig.
Absolutely. Where would I find this boar?
Oh, just outside the front door. I left him tied up. And if he gives you any lip, tell him Avanti says to behave. I'm giving him a present by taking him to a nice place.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Usually just after sunrise, hot water will be brought to you for a bath, and breakfast is not included, but we do serve it. Good night, please. Okay. I'll go take care of your boar now. And that person leaves. All right, that's basically it for tonight. You're in Crystal Lake, the town next to the lake called Crystal Lake. You checked into Lazar's, which is the nicest place. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, we'll inform them of the deal in the morning and head back to town probably, but...
Cullen is the name of the big albino orc.
Well, yeah.
Jacob's going to spend an inordinate amount of time in the bath. It's been a really long time since he's been able to soak like this.
Oh, they don't. Oh, you mean next morning? Because
Yeah,
they don't bring you the water tonight.
I understand. And soap too. Wow, that's
This is the kind of soap that definitely burns your eyes, but they do have soap.
I understand. Leave it on too long.
And Joral is like.
All right. Well, this is
Water?
fun.
Yeah.
Are you having fun with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just not. I just didn't sleep well last night because I was sick, so I'm
No. I
very
hope you feel
tired.
better. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Well, fiddle with your character sheets when you guys get a chance. I will try to come up with stats for a Marvel character, and I won't see you next week because I'll be gone. And then a week after that, maybe we'll play the Marvel game, and then we can come back to this, and you guys can run amok or whatever. Meet some fairies if you feel like that.
All right. I guess I'll see everybody in 2 weeks then.
Yep. Good night.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Everybody take care.
Then.